If you ask Liverpool fans what their greatest ever night was, chances are 9 out of 10 will mention that famous night in Istanbul, when Liverpool came from 3 goals down to win the Champions League final in dramatic fashion. It's been christened the Miracle of Istanbul, and honestly, it remains arguably the best night in the history of the tournament. 18 years now since that unforgettable night. 18 years, 4 more finals, 1 more win. Time passes though, and people move on. None of the players from that Liverpool side still play professional football, so what exactly have they been up to? Where are the Liverpool's 2005 Champions League winners now? Let's find out. The Polish keeper was the hero of the night. Before he pulled off that crucial penalty save against Andrei Shevchenko to give Liverpool the cup, he had made an iconic double save against the Ukrainian in the final minutes of extra, and it certainly summed up the miracle of Istanbul. Interestingly though, Dudek soon found himself relegated to second choice following the arrival of Pepe Reina. He tried to reclaim his spot, but with no success. He eventually left Anfield in 2007, but not to be a number 1 elsewhere, but to deputize Iker Casillas at Real Madrid. He stayed at the Spanish capital for 4 seasons before finally hanging his boots in 2011. He then enjoyed a spell as a racing driver, which was more of a hobby and not a full-time career. In 2013, though, he came out of retirement to play for Poland against Liechtenstein and earned the 60th cap he needed to be enshrined in the Polish Football Hall of Fame. He currently holds an ambassadorial role with UEFA, traveling around Europe, promoting European championships and the Champions League. Probably still working in property management, the former right-back has kept a low profile since hanging his boots. Before that, though, he left Liverpool in 2008 and joined Spanish side Espanyol, where he spent just a season before returning to the Premier League with Portsmouth. He played 25 matches for Pompey in a single season and retired just after their 2010 FA Cup final defeat to Chelsea. He then dropped off the face of the earth until a campaign led by the Liverpool Echo in 2015, where Steve Finnan played a key role in tracking down the former defender. Turns out he had gotten into property management with his brother at the time, but it did not end well. Claims of mismanagement led to the two brothers clashing after they accrued debts running into millions of pounds. This unfortunately led to the former right-back listing his Champions League medal and a signed match t-shirt for auction in 2020. Our guess is that Finnan is still in property management. He's at Sky Sports, ain't he? Before the Sky Sports fame, Carragher went on to become Liverpool's second highest appearance holder ever with 737 appearances. Having come through the ranks at Liverpool's academy, Carragher spent his entire career at Anfield and finally hung his boots in 2013. Definitely a Liverpool legend. He has since made a name for himself as an accomplished television pundit, forming an enviable partnership with former Manchester United and fellow England international Gary Neville on Sky Sports. Liverpool, in their official website, describe Hyypiä as one of the finest centre-backs ever to wear a red shirt. After winning the Champions League, he was with Liverpool for a couple of seasons before eventually retiring at the start of the 2010s. He went straight into coaching, first as Finland's assistant manager before taking on a bigger job, this time at Bayer Leverkusen, which also happened to be the last club he'd played for. Let's just say his experience on the touchline has not been nowhere close to his career as a player. He is currently without a club. Traore's 4-year stay at Anfield came to an end in 2006, a year after the famous Istanbul night, having made 141 appearances for Liverpool. He later bounced around different clubs in Europe, including spells with Portsmouth, Charlton, Stade Rennais, Marseille, and Monaco. He even featured for Championship side Birmingham. Sadly for the former Mali international, though, despite producing a remarkable crucial goal line clearance to deny Shevchenko what would almost certainly have been the winner in Istanbul, many Liverpool fans will remember him for scoring one of the most comical own goals in the club's history. After retiring, he went into coaching, and he is currently the head coach at Right to Dream Academy in Denmark. We all know where the midfielder is, don't we? Alonso scored the third goal for Liverpool, which tied the match at 3-3 on that memorable night in Istanbul. After that triumph in Istanbul, the Spaniard went from strength to strength, blossoming into one of the finest midfielders of his generation and a Liverpool legend in the process. He spent 4 more seasons with Liverpool before leaving for Real Madrid and later Bayern Munich, where he enjoyed even further success, winning countless honors. He finally hung up his boots in 2017 and went straight into management. He started off at Real Madrid, where he was the youth coach, before moving on to Real Sociedad B. He then left last year to take an even more senior role, managing Bayer Leverkusen, and what a start he has had. He continues showing his class, this time on the touchline. Arguably Liverpool's greatest ever player, a product of the club's famed academy, Gerrard made his Liverpool debut in 1998 and played his final match for the club 17 years later in 2015. After ending his Liverpool career, Gerrard spent just 1 season in MLS with LA Galaxy before retiring to become manager. He started off nicely, winning the Scottish League with Rangers and ending Celtic's quest for 10 league titles in a row. He then moved to Aston Villa, but the move backfired as he was sacked in October last year. He recently moved to the Saudi Pro League side Al Ettifaq. Started the 2005 Champions League final, but was sadly forced off after just 23 minutes, having picked up an injury. And after this, his career never really picked up again. He moved to Galatasaray after leaving Anfield in 2008, where he stayed for 3 seasons. He then returned home to play for Melbourne Victory before heading to Qatari's Al Gharafa. He returned home again, this time with Melbourne Heart, where he retired in March 2014. He's currently a first-team coach for Celtic. Was a fan favorite at Anfield, where he spent 7 years before leaving to join Serie A side Roma in 2008. He was best known for his rocket of a left boot. Just like Kewell, he became a journeyman after he left Anfield. After spending 3 years at Roma, he returned to England with Fulham and was released by the Cottagers at the end of the 2013-14 season. He also had stints in Greece, India, and Norway before eventually calling time on his playing career. He is the current manager of Avaldnes IL Women team in Norway. The Spaniard was a cult hero during his playing days at Liverpool. He endeared himself to the fans, partly thanks to his habit of scoring vital goals in vital games. He scored 5 goals during Liverpool's triumphant Istanbul campaign, including quarter-final and semi-final goals against Juventus and Chelsea, respectively. He departed Anfield in 2007, journeying to Atletico Madrid, Panathinaikos, Pumas, and Atletico Kolkata. He briefly hanged his boots before coming out of retirement to play for A-League side Central Coast Mariners in 2016. Well, he is still Liverpool through and through. You can often see him taking his son to matches at Anfield. Czech was tasked with leading the line against AC Milan in Istanbul, which he impressively did. He, however, left the same year and joined Aston Villa, before later playing for Lyon Portsmouth and Galatasaray. He had 4 different stints with his boyhood club, Banik Ostrava, where he originally left for Anfield. He also had stints with Turkish side Antalyaspor. Liverpool fans will always remember the Czech striker for donning the number 5 shirt, combined with an extravagant pair of golden Nike boots. Barros was the last player of the Istanbul bunch to play professional football, retiring in 2020. But you will be surprised to learn that Barros is still playing football at 42 years of age, but nothing professional. He plays for FK Vigantis, an amateur team playing in the 6th tier of Czech football. Almost 20 years since Liverpool's famous Istanbul victory, and fans always have goosebumps when they recall the dramatic events from the night. Which team or players would love to know their whereabouts? Let us know in the comments below.